point is that we are called to be compassionate and merciful, not only towards others, but towards ourselves as well. And you heard that echoed through a lot of the presenters this weekend. So, and compassionate to creation as well. And if we accept ourselves and be compassionate towards ourselves, then that opens us up to be welcoming to others. Because if I can't accept myself with all my sinfulness and warts and mistakes and sins and gifts and talents, then it's very difficult to accept others as they are too. We'll be tending to judge them. And if we dwell on thinking of ourselves as sinners, which of course we all are, but forget that we are redeemed sinners, then we can become closed in on ourselves. We can begin to think of ourselves as unlovable. And, but we know that we can't ever earn God's love. God just freely loves us. And day after day, we can become more compassionate to ourselves and to others in little ways. And the only time I was ever involved was preparation for First Communion or First Reconciliation was when I lived in Jamaica. And I remember being at the First Reconciliation class with these kids, and as Sister Anne was giving the example of the children in Hamilton, I thought, yeah, I remember that from Jamaica, that I would say to the kids, well, now what can you do to make God stop loving you? You know, and inevitably somebody would say, you know, well, if I killed somebody, you know, and then I'd say, no, God would still love you. And then someone would say, well, what if I killed my mother? You know? And then somebody said, well, what if I killed 10 people? So I was getting carried away. But anyway, but then I would assure them that there was absolutely nothing they could ever do that would prevent God or stop God from loving them. And I can remember, you know, every time I would say it to them, I would take it into my own heart too, you know, because I think, oh, you know, some of the things I've done or failed to do, you know, how could God love me? But so when I would tell it to them, it would really go into my own heart too. And on the little sideline, the pastor, Father Martin Royackers, he was at the class one day, and I said to the kids, well, now, do you think that I ever sin? Oh, no, sister, no, you never sin. No. And then I said, well, what do you think? Do you think Father Martin sins? Oh, yes. So how can we get beyond that and move beyond so we can forgive? So by asking God to help us, and as Sister Anne said yesterday, and I heard various people talk about your example, Anne, about the elevator. You know, waiting for that sister for the elevator, or not waiting for the sister for the elevator. And by choosing little acts of compassion and forgiveness, they build on each other, because each act of compassion to one another cultivates a loving environment in which new life can grow and prosper. And then it's through the example and influence of our sisters and brothers that we can gain the courage and wisdom to offer God's love and mercy to other people. And then on a slightly different note, I work with the Out of the Cold program in Hamilton, which is part of the mission of it is to show compassion and dignity to other people. And so the Out of the Cold program, as I told the people on the hike yesterday, it's breakfast and dinner from Monday to Saturday, beginning in November until the end of March. And I remember asking one of the guests of Out of the Cold a few years ago, what is it you like about Out of the Cold, or why do you come? And I expected him to say, you know, it was the great food, you know, or it was the hot food or something like that. And he might have said that. But the first thing, but I don't remember, but the first thing he said was that he liked Out of the Cold because the volunteers did not look down on him. And I thought, oh, so that's what it is, you know. So it just did my heart. I was very touched because I thought, oh, the volunteers then with Out of the Cold have really taken the mission to heart, you know, and really have shown that compassion in such a way that that guest received the message loud and clear that he was respected. And then that was a few years ago, and then this past season we decided we would ask all the guests, survey the guests about what they liked about Out of the Cold, any suggestions they would have, anything like that. And so now remember that all we do is serve food. We just have the breakfast and the dinner, that's all we do. But one woman wrote that she liked out of the cold so much that she would come even if we didn't serve any food. So I thought, oh. So it was just the compassion and the respect shown by the volunteers that attracted her out of the cold. And so I'm very grateful to Sister Carol Ann and Gloria Kalitza, her friend who started out of the cold 18 years ago here in Hamilton. So with practical examples of mercy in action is what we try to do day after day. So if we do fall short, let us pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off and have compassion on our dear neighbors and ourselves. Thank you.